welcome to our Tuesday night call. Matt Landau, your president here, and of course, Mark Seaforth, our one and only founder.
Good evening, everyone. And well, again, as always on this call, we've got a lot to share with you guys. So let's just dig in.
Absolutely.
Let's get to it.
Yeah. Guys, we got a lot going on. I want to talk. First, I want to make a few announcements, and then Mark and I just kind of want to discuss a few general areas, really exciting things that are going on with us at HQ and in GoodLife Nation in general. So the first announcement I want to talk about is Canada. Guys, shipping is up. It is out. It is fully functioning. Everything is out and moving out of our facility as we speak right here. So I know. It's amazing.
No, really? Come on.
Miracle of miracles. Yeah. So Canada, again, thank you for all of your patience and all of your grace as we've been kind of getting this thing functioning the way it needed to function. We kind of came out of the gates the other day, thought we had it going, but the rates were way off the charts, and so we pulled it down. We've done ample testing at this point, and everything is functioning fully and properly. So all of you that have been sitting back patiently, feel free, go ahead. We've got plenty of cards, lots of inventory. All of our shipping is in place, and so that is good to go. And we're I'm really happy to be able to say that.
Yeah. And I know you guys are even more happy. Particularly those in Canada, have been waiting for a long time. So this is going to be great for everybody. So
and really
have fun.
Really worth it. And part of, as we talk about Canada and we get those pieces in place, we talk about our global expansion and our international expansion in the Philippines and all the other countries that we're excited to be growing into, of course, as we get everything in place and do it the right way and learning a little bit more each time. But wanted to touch on that pre-reg site. That international pre-reg site is there.
Yeah.
It is up, and we are continuing to monitor and watch it.
Yeah, guys. Again, if you're interested in having a team tree in the Philippines, you need to get in there and get registered. That's all you've got to do is get registered. The rest of it you'll find out as you go what you need to do. But again, if you're on the calls before, this is going to be very simple. You're going to be able to actually build a huge organization in the Philippines or benefit from an organization in the Philippines by actually just building here in the United States. So if you're not up to speed on that, talk to somebody that is, but take advantage of it, get into that site. And again, unless you don't want a team tree in the Philippines, then that's okay too. But I think a lot of you, when you realize what that means, are going to be on that site very quickly.
Really exciting, and we're continuing to hit our benchmarks as far as those expansion projects. But a lot of the feedback has been, guys, be careful you don't grow too fast. Make sure you're watching all of the things, all the small things domestically, and getting those things right. And I want to assure you guys that we are committed to that. Yeah. And so I want to draw it back in, and actually want to take a few minutes to go over some of the programming changes and implementations that we've done every week. We went over it last week. I'm going to continue to keep you guys dialed in on the little changes that we're adding that are just making everything that much more efficient and are making everything run that more smoothly. So I had a long meeting with my programmers today, and we really went over some great stuff. And a couple of things you're going to see right now, and then there are some things that we talked about that you're going to be seeing in the next few days. But right now, one of the things I'm most excited about is have you seen the replicated IBO pages?
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Does that look? You obviously got that free digital card display right there, right smack center of your homepage now. So you've got that image there. When you get your prospect to come to your site and take a look at it, what's the first thing they see? Boom, right there.
They go out and they can try their free VIP club card. Obviously, they can find out more information. I love it. I love it.
And it's got the Jody video right there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So it gets right into how this card works.
Yeah, and so then there were small changes when you're in your site, and these are important things. We had a little before the way it was flowing was someone would come into your site, but as they proceeded through the pages, they would find themselves out of your site.
Yeah,
so
that was a problem.
Basically, they're in your room, and then all of a sudden they're out of your room. We've changed that, we fixed that and shored it up. So now they're in your room, they're staying in your IBO room. Okay?
Right.
So everywhere they
basically
go.
That means that when they go through the process of looking at anything, they get ready to enroll or do whatever the next step is, they're going to be in your back office, on your website, and that's going to ensure that they're actually enrolled by you.
Yeah, absolutely. Critically important. You do so much to get those leads in there and to get them to activate and stay in there. So we've been able to put that in place. Another thing, again, these are really important but small things. You now are getting email notifications when anybody joins your organization, whenever they come in, whether through your 20 lines or through any of your tiers. You're not only getting email notifications, you're getting in texts, SMS text notifications, and we're putting it up in the back office there too.
Okay. Now, so how many pay lines did they go down? Is that correct, John? Is that legal?
That's all 20.
Oh.
All 20, yeah. So as your organizations grow and build.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't? See, you got to tune into the president's call and get all the information.
I'm learning something here tonight. This is great. By the way, has anybody noticed that Matt's hair is getting grayer and grayer? I mean, I'm not saying, but I think the pressure of this job it's just starting to gray.
I'm getting more gray. He's getting less gray. Figure that.
Yeah.
But figure
that's simple. That's hair color. All right.
All right. So, guys, what's important is we now have in place every way to notify you as your organizations grow, and as those beneath you grow, and as you train the people that come in, the builders, to build, and you really start to feel the fruits of those efforts. And it's really important. I know Mark's been talking about in his calls the importance of really getting in there and really training and using these marketing materials to really get people to get it and understand it. So we want you to be able to see that in every way possible. I mean, it's so exciting when someone's walking down the street and bing, there comes a text.
Say, oh, somebody else is joining me.
You just made money.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, how great is that?
Yeah, so that's great. Okay, what else?
And we've also done that, and that functionality is going to be there to let you know when there are issues with your credit card and things like that. So that is in place. And that's, these are the little things that just make everything function so much better. Your income tracker, in your dashboard, when you can see your display of what your money is, as it comes in and you get paid, we wanted to go and refine that income tracker even more. Because
the old income tracker.
The old income trackers.
Everybody wants to know, where's my money?
Yeah, well, and we were showing you when we were paying you in the full amounts.
Right.
And if you went in there and you had everything you needed to dig in there and really understand where every nickel and dime comes from, and that's critically important. But we all want to be able to look at it right away and see, when did I generate those funds? From where did it come? Was it quick pay? Was it Team Tree?
You just want to know what month you earned your money in.
Yep.
And everybody wants to know very simply, in the month of June, what did I earn? It doesn't matter when you get paid on it, but what did you earn? So you can see it month by month, and it's going to be much easier to follow, moving forward.
Yep, absolutely. So those things are in place and coming, and a couple little tweaks and additions to your VIP card manager. Again, as you give out the cards, you want to see what works and what functions. You now have in there a number that shows you how many you've purchased and how many people have gone out and requested those digital cards on your site. So you have an ability to see how many people are actually hitting your site. And these are important tools because it lets you understand, really what marketing efforts are paying off and what isn't. And,
and obviously we're coming out with some of these new marketing things like we talked about, the last week, and we're going to be talking about more, is ways to make sure that as you put these cards out, they get activated, because that's what turns to gold for everybody, is when these cards get activated, not just handing them out. So obviously one of the things we talked about was this card, and that's in the works. As a matter of fact, I was just talking with John today, I think we're going to have these things available, John, probably there'll be 7 to 10 days, 2 weeks?
Yep.
2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. All right.
Well,
you heard it here from John Sims, folks. 2 weeks. So obviously, when the customer service lights up in 2 weeks, if they're not available, you know where it came from. I didn't say it. John Sims said it. I saw it right there.
No one heard my voice on this call.
Yeah, that was him.
But you know what? This is going to be such a cool tool. And I guess what? I've started playing with it, and it works so well because, again, you've got this little tear-off thing here at the bottom where you can get the person's email and their phone number and their name. That's all you want. That's because that allows us to do all these drip campaigns we're going to be talking about here in a minute, and everything else to make sure, because we found that once somebody actually takes the card and activates it, then all of a sudden, they start using it.
Yep.
And then, of course, the other thing we've added, I guess we're going to be talking about.
We're going to talk about.
Am I jumping ahead of things?
It's okay, but we wanted to.
I'm not scripted like you are.
Well,
you follow a pretty tight script. I'm just kind of I ad lib as a.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
One of the points to discuss was marketing materials and things.
Oh, we're going to talk about that?
We're there. We're already there. So absolutely. So this is an amazing tool that we have.
It is, and again, talking about it. By the way, I'm just in a really happy mood today. I don't know why. I've actually been happy since we started the Good Life. But you know what? I guess it is everybody's worked so hard for so long, and finally, all the things we've been working on are all starting to work. And it's just everything's come together, and it's just a feel good thing when you look at it and go, wow, we've actually, because remember when everybody was screaming at us about customer service?
Fixed it.
I don't hear about that anymore. You know,
Yeah.
remember when people were screaming about us about can't get the cards out and shipped? You don't hear about that anymore.
Yep.
Remember when everybody was screaming about us with when we the switch on the platform and all the problems we had a lot of problems. We did. I don't hear about that anymore.
There. It's
So
there.
and again, that's what I've always said. As long as we as a group, as a team, always work to fix things and move things forward. Guess what that means for all of us? It means we're going to have a very successful company and a very, very long living company that's going to be important to all of us. So part of that is, marketing materials. That's what we're focused on now. Finally, we're getting back, since we fixed a lot of these operational issues, now we're getting back to, okay, what are some of the marketing things we can do? And obviously this is one of them, because I think this is really going to help. I started playing with it, getting tremendous response from it. And as a matter of fact, when you actually see this thing, it's really designed for somebody that's interested in becoming an IBO and getting the business. But here's what I'm finding with the few people I'm putting in the hands of, and I'm going to see how this all plays out here shortly. But even when I hand it to people from the standpoint of just being a user, just strictly saving money on it, what ends up happening is, because it says very boldly at the top, when your customer saves 200, you make 100. But think about the takeaway you got. You hand it to somebody and say, well, don't worry about the 100. This is just for you to be able to save. This is going to save you $200, right? So a person takes that. The first thing going, well, that's great. But what's the 100? I want to know about the 100.
Yeah.
So guys, it's going to be a great tool, because it's going to take them from not you ask and tell them about it. They're going to ask you about it. And that's what you always want. You say, well, look, I tell you what, activate the card, take a look at the videos, and when somebody saves 200, you can make 100. It's the simplest thing in the world if you can do what I just did, which is just, put this in the hands of someone.
And you know what else you can do? You can ask them to attend one of your events, home party.
Yeah, and obviously that leads to the next thing we're doing with the marketing, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so obviously we've been working on this new presentation. And with the voiceover, which I'm completing with John, we're finishing it up this week. It will be in your back office next week. So now you're going to have one that you can actually, use from your back office, download it and use it. It's a complete presentation with an audio overlay. So all you got to do is start your Good Life parties, invite somebody to your home or wherever you're going to meet, coffee shop, wherever you're doing, or big meetings. Let this thing play. And then all you've got to do is answer some basic questions about how do I join and what level I come in at. So we're going to make this thing very, very simple for everybody. It's going to allow everybody to start having meetings and presentations. And then we're also going to do it in the old-fashioned way, too. We're going to actually do the CD, DVDs, the old press and play versions. So those will be available, too, so that for a lot of people that like to just pop it in and let it play, you're going to have that, too. So that won't be available next week because we have to actually have them printed, but they're going to be coming very quickly behind
and guys,
the live presentation.
This is just the beginning. We're, we've got all of our foundational pieces in place. Now we want to, our efforts, our emphasis is getting these training and marketing materials in your hands so you can get out there and you can share this and really, really share what we're all about with everybody. So again, that's why we're excited too. And so there's more and more coming. You're going to be, continuing to do your training materials.
I'll talk about the quick pay on Thursday's call, so we'll get that in a second.
So we'll talk about that in a second. And, a few things that are putting smiles on my face from my compliance hat and my
that's all important stuff.
But what puts a smile on my face is making sure that we're doing everything right. And so we've got a couple of really, really awesome measures that are coming into play that we're in the process of instituting right now that are really, really, these are the foundational type things that really make sure that we know we're doing everything right and kind of chugging along. The advisory board. So Mark talked about the advisory board that we're putting together. I know you discussed it a little bit in your last call. Talk to them a little bit about what's your expectation, what your thoughts are on the advisory board.
But did you lower my chair to make yourself taller?
When I get in my lawyer mode, I usually grow a foot or two.
He actually lowered my chair. My chair to make himself taller.
I thought we were finally getting serious here.
Don't be too serious. Okay. The advisory board. I will talk about the advisory board. Guys, I really appreciate the response. I was surprised. I thought maybe I'd get 5 or 10 people who are interested in an advisory board. It's somewhere between 50 and 100 people that want to serve on this interim advisory board. So here's what's happening. We're actually looking at it right now, all the individuals and who they are and what they've done in the company, what their backgrounds are, so that we can pick that initial board. Now remember, it's just going to be 5 members. They're going to serve until we do the event in Vegas where we're going to actually elect a permanent board. Now, some of those 5 might get elected, or maybe all of them get elected to serve the first year because it'll be a 1-year tenure. One of the great things that will happen to the advisory board is that, a lot of times you're going to get some extra benefits when we go to these events where we're going to pick up a lot of your costs, because we're going to ask a lot of you if you're going to sit on this board. Our expectations are very high of what we want from the advisory board. So, we're going to have some fun times together too, but we're also going to be working hard to improve this company and to be able to get insight from the field and your perspective, not sometimes just from the corporate side, is very, very important. So it's, again, we'll make this the process, the selection process very quickly, and we'll announce it. I just want to take the time to do it right and make sure it's the right people to start with. So as soon as we got those selected, we'll announce it. It could be next week's call probably. And then we'll start working with that group to start, doing a better job of communicating with the field. Obviously getting ideas in here that we need to look at, the things that really are the forefront of the things that are important to everybody out there, all you IBOs, to make sure that we get done. We've got a pretty good handle on it. We always feel like it, but let's face it, sometimes we do miss some of the most important things to you guys, and that's what's important, because you are the good life. So. I'm excited about having that advisory board.
And it's that critical bridge between us and you, the advisory board, and you and the IBO field. And that's that critical bridge that we need to have. And yeah, you're right, Mark. We do so much here, and we're so hyper focused on what we're doing and paying attention to all the details and all the things that we're trying to get accomplished. So to have this advisory board is, that's 5 sets of eyes and ears that we know and trust, that are out there, that we're communicating with, that are helping us build and keep that foundation strong. Protect the mothership, like I always used to say. I like to say. I don't used to say.
You say it all the time.
You say it.
You must watch a lot of Star Trek when you're growing up or something.
I had a lot of time on my hands as a kid. So anyway, another great thing that we're doing, guys. About 6-8 months ago, we did that comprehensive opinion letter from our attorneys, Greenberg Traurig. I want to make sure with all the changes and everything we're doing, we're constantly staying ahead of and on top of, from a compliance standpoint, everything that we do, from the product and the comp side. And especially in light of all these wonderful changes that we're doing, all these great additions that we're doing, obviously Team Tree and VIP and Legacy and everything that we're implementing. So it's time for us to do another opinion letter. So as we speak right now, I'm working with our attorneys to get a comprehensive opinion letter from our attorneys at Greenberg Traurig. And so, again, for me, as the attorney, as the compliance guy, as the leader of this company, it makes me feel so much stronger to see that and to have that in our hands.
And it's important to all you guys out there, because that's really important. I think a lot of companies out there don't take the time to do that, and usually it jumps up and bites you, and it always does eventually. So, we've always said, we don't ever want to have that issue. So we want to make sure we're always compliant in everything that we do, because, again, that's what's going to create the longevity that we're all looking for here.
And that's what gives us the confidence to continue to propel and to progress and take on new aspects of the company. We're not just jumping into it willy-nilly. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it when we're small. I mean, we're not doing it when we're a huge conglomerate, a big company, global. We're doing it now at the very early stages of our growth.
This is the way we're going to act always. It doesn't matter big, small. We know how big we're going. That's why we're walking the walk now. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll be the same guys we are when we're there as we are right now. And so these are the things that we're putting in place that we're all doing together. And speaking of all the changes and everything, you want to touch on the quick pay thoughts a little bit?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm real excited about that.
Well, that's what you're most excited about.
Yeah, of course I am, because it's going to create really tremendous checks for everybody in the field. So on Thursday, I'll be doing another call, and we're going to continue with this right now with the Tuesday's call. And a lot of times I'll be on here with Matt. Sometimes I won't be, but I'm going to continue to do a Thursday call where I will start to show more and more of the things that we're doing. But obviously right now it's the quick pay. This change we're making to the quick pay is going to really impact everybody's checks, because it's going to put a lot of money, into everybody's pockets if you're out there building. Now, the important thing about this for right now that everybody needs to know, like right this minute, is that when you add that 4th and 5th tier, and it's not a pay line, because pay lines are based on, placement in the team trees and the legacy tree, it has nothing to do with it. As you know, quick pay is based on your personal enrollments, their personal enrollments, their personal enrollments, their personal enrollments. So it has nothing to do, and it can be as wide. So it's not like the way the team tree builds, where it builds 2 by and continues to build, through the 20 pay lines. Okay, the quick pay can go as wide as you want. So that means if you want to put in 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, if you do that, that's just all on your very first tier. where you're going to get 5 tiers of payouts from personal enrollments to personal enrollments. And the money is significant. It's not a small amount. We're making an adjustment in the price of both, and this goes into effect September the 1st. We're making changes in the price of both the gold membership and the platinum membership, but every penny that we're increasing is going back to you guys into this quick pay bonus. So it's going to be big checks. Now, not the most important part, again, which I said for right now, today, you're not going to, if you wait and say, well, I'll wait till September 1st, that's when I'll go to work. Well, guess what? That won't do you any good, because you're not going to be reaching that 4th and 5th tier come September the 1st, all right? So what you do today, and people are building right now, starting to really build their first tier, their second tier, their third tier, and really working with the people you bring in. That's another thing this does. This really is, you're going to see, is going to give you a reason to really, reach down and help the people that you bring in and help them to understand how to build and what to do and how this business works. But the cool thing about it is what you're doing right now today is going to pay the dividends in probably September, October, November through the quick pay tree, because that's when you'll start really reaching some significant numbers on your 3rd, 4th, and 5th tier. So keep that in mind. So what you're doing right now is great, and it puts money in your pocket. The quick pay is good where it's at. It's just going to get better, but it's going to get better on the lower ends, not the higher ends. So you build your higher end right now, and then the lower end is going to kick in. If I'm making this real clear, when you get into September, October, and November, and it's going to make for some huge checks.
To go from 3 lines to 5. I mean, that is really significant, guys.
And the amount of money sitting on every one of those tiers.
Mark will get into particulars, but we really wanted to make this structured so you'd be motivated and excited, and you'd see that longer play to build quality organizations when you're bringing in people and you're training them and you're retaining them and they're going out and building. That's how we build, that's how we grow, and that's how you're going to be rewarded. So it's exciting to see how that's going to.
Because what this does, and the last thing about it is, just think about it this way when you think about all the trees. We got 3 trees, right? The quick pay tree is really, that's your first year. That's how you make the big money to get started, quick start. That's why we call it quick pay, immediate income. You're building, it really puts some serious income in your pocket, okay? The teen tree, which is the second part, is really the second year on. That's kind of your, I always call it, that's your quit your job type of tree, That's what the teen tree is designed to do, is get to the point where, okay, quick pay got you to the point where now all of a sudden the teen tree is working and it's starting to build a huge residual. It's your quit your job type of tree. The legacy tree was always designed to be your retirement tree. That's the 3rd year on. I mean, that's what the legacy, even though people are getting some nice checks right now, I look at it from my mind, no, it's the 3rd year on. The legacy tree is going to be what's going to be phenomenal. That's your retirement. That's going to be your retirement money. So again, kind of think of it in those terms, and you realize right now where everybody's at, because we're still in infancy, we're at the quick pay level. That's it. But we're going to make that significant now.
That's a really great way to think about it. And I love looking at it in terms of, it is that way. That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right. I've set it up.
So they're probably getting a little sick of our voices, but the last thing I want to touch on tonight is Vegas. Never, right?
It's frickin' frack.
We're covering a lot of ground, guys, and it's really important. So, but the last thing I do want to touch on is Vegas. This is what an exciting event that's going to be, and so we're getting that dialed in. I think we can say safely it's the week of November 5th.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be that week, and we got a lot of excitement out there for everybody wanting to go. Everybody's wanting to know, well, how do I register? Where are we going to be? What kind of things are going to be doing? And I know we haven't got all that stuff out. We're very, very close to getting all that information out. We're just talking to John here. We're going to have the registration site up by the 1st of next week, so everybody can start registering. That's very important.
And that's
you're not paying, but you're just registering, saying I want to go.
That site's going to be in your back office, so it's important that you guys understand. You got to go in your back office. You got to take a look and get in there. We'll send you email notifications, obviously, so you know where it is. But that's where.
Well, you don't even have to know about where it is, because what's going to happen is when you go to your back office, a big screen's going to pop up and say Vegas, and it's going to have all kind of bells and whistles and flags, whatever John can do, but you'll see it.
It'll be looking slick.
It'll be looking good, and you'll know right there, okay, I can register, because it's going to block you from your going to your back office till you say, hey, I'm going to Vegas, or no, I'm not. And I think you want to come to Vegas. You don't want to miss it, guys.
This is going to be so cool. We're looking at some really cool stuff right now. We're putting it together. Really want to gauge your interest and make sure we get a handle on as many people, because I want to get as big a room block as possible. We get those big room blocks, we can get that rate down even lower. So the more you dial in, the more you let us know, the more we can negotiate those room blocks. It's going to be a heck of a trip, guys. It's really going to be spectacular. And what better way to go than for free? We got our contest.
That's right. We got our contest going again. We've started talking about it over and over again, guys. Top 10. Yeah, top 10, and is it just we've talked about so many things now. I forgot. Is it personal enrollment or is it a combination of the?
It would
just
personal
gold or platinum, right?
Yeah,
for that one. Okay.
And we were going to take it. Was it next level too? Did we go first level?
No, that was Team Tree. No, the Legacy Tree.
Okay, there
so much going on, guys. So much going on. John's over here. He's like an orchestra director.
Just go out and build.
He's actually going. No, that's no good. No, that's no good. Yeah, there you go.
You guys, you go out and build, and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything. If you got your build on and you're getting into it, and you're using these materials, and you're growing your organization, money's coming in, free trips are happening. Your life is really good.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
Really good.
Again, you see smiles on our faces, and it's really sincere because all this work has really started to pay off. And so again, we've got some tremendous people that work here at the Good Life, and they've done some amazing things. I mean, including Mr. Sims sitting here right behind the camera. It's just really it's a great thrill for us to see all this come together and know we've got something special, and we're going to a point that I think a level no one's ever seen before. So
we're going together, guys. Yeah. We're all going together. So with that, we'll say thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. We'll see Mark on Thursday.
I'll lay out the legacy tree
lots of great stuff. And, take it from there. So, guys, continue your hard work, and we appreciate everything you're doing. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take care and God bless.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Thank you.